Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Freddie Garcia. Today, we're joined by Dr. Matt Antonici. Dr. Antonici is spearheading our newest program coming out, Functional Neurology Management of Concussion. There's a lot of excitement around it. We're also getting lots of questions. So, Dr. Antonici, you're here to field those questions. Are you ready?
I am ready. Let's do it.
All right. So, the first question I have for you is, why does the Carrick Institute's latest concussion program, why does it have multiple parts? Why does it have multiple parts?
That's a pretty easy one because concussion itself has multiple parts. So what we tried to do is when we were building this program, we tried to basically tell the story of concussion in the program. So the first thing that happens with a concussion is somebody either hits their head or has a jarring injury that injures their head. So we're essentially taking these different parts. Right now it's two parts: the acute management of concussion and the management of persisting symptoms. So part number one is all about when somebody actually hits their head, what do you do? What's the physiology that happens? What proactive measures do you take? Do you tell them to sleep or not to sleep at nighttime? When do you send them to the hospital? What will they do at the hospital? How do you evaluate them? How do you track their progress? When do you know that they're ready to get back to activities or back to play? And then also to make sure we know how to re-baseline them so that if they have another episode or an injury in the future, that we know they're back to normal, or if they actually have another concussion without any outwardly symptoms, we can identify that as well too. So that's essentially part one, is the acute management of concussion. And then we have part two, which is the management of persisting symptoms. So once somebody crosses that threshold from acute to subacute and chronic, there's a completely different way of managing them. What we know is that acute concussion is largely a metabolic failure. There's something in the brain that can't keep up with the energy. Neurons are not working properly, and we have to treat that as such. In the second part, the persisting concussion symptoms, there's a lot more complexity to it. It can be cognitive, it could be affective, it could be visual or oculomotor, it could be vestibular, it could be sleep related, autonomic. So there's essentially 7 different archetypes of concussion that somebody can exhibit symptoms of. So we need to understand all 7 of them individually and then be able to combine them all together to be able to create a unique treatment plan for that individual. So that would be a lot to bite off in one bite and a lot to chew in one bite. So we kind of split it off because also there's people out there, there are practitioners out there that only deal with the acute concussions. Maybe they don't want to understand the persisting symptoms. However, individuals that work with patients that have persisting concussion symptoms need to know the acute management of it, because that dictates what they'll do later on in the persisting symptom phase.
I get it. That does make a lot of sense. That's very helpful. So thank you very much for fielding that questions. For those who are watching this video at home, if you have some questions about Carrick Institute's latest program, Functional Neurology Management of Concussion, feel free to email us at admissions, that's plural, admissions@carrickinstitute.com. We'll try to answer your question in the next video. Have a great day, everybody.